Hi everyone, it's Heather. I'm a travel agent with MEI Travel, and this week I'm in one of the most popular cities in the world, Amsterdam. I think that we all hear about Amsterdam, some of the crazy things they do here, but what a beautiful city this is. I am going to take you with me as I go around on a canal boat tour and to see the Anne Frank house and see some of the gorgeous museums they have here in Amsterdam. And I think by the time we're done, you're going to fall in love and want to plan a visit here for yourself. So let's go. My home base in Amsterdam is the gorgeous Hotel de L'Europe. This hotel is a historic hotel that opened in 1896 in probably the best location for visitors to this city. It's right in the middle of Old Town, which means you are no more than a 15 to 20 minute walk from anything you could possibly want to see or do here. Now, I am staying in a premium deluxe room, which is key for us American travelers because it's huge. European hotel rooms can be tiny, but my room has an entryway, lots of closet space, a huge king bed, and this giant bathroom with heated floors. They also have a Dyson blow dryer for the ladies, which makes getting ready in the morning so easy. The hotel itself is stunning and the staff are so friendly. They have Freddy's Bar, which is a nod to the owner of the Heineken company who always used to come here and hang out. They even have a little bit of a speakeasy here now, the 1896 bar, which makes phenomenal cocktails. The hotel breakfast is great, the food is wonderful, and they also have a 1-star Michelin restaurant, so you know that you're in good hands when you stay here. For my first day in Amsterdam, I had booked a private tour for myself and my family. And this is always the first thing I do in a new city because it's the best way to get a feel for the city you're in. And so my guide Caroline took us all around Amsterdam, showed us the canals, showed us a gorgeous museum of one of the canal houses, so we got to go inside and see what they traditionally looked like, including the gorgeous garden out back. And then she took us to the Rijksmuseum, which is the art museum of Amsterdam. And you kind of have to go to see the Rembrandts and the Vermeers. It was absolutely gorgeous. And bonus, she is an art history major, so she really got to explain and help us understand what it was we were looking at. The end of my walking tour included entrance into the Rijksmuseum, which our guide Caroline brought us. And I was so thankful to have her with us because she studied art history and she was able to break down what we were seeing and really explain what is so extraordinary about these paintings. Now, the rest of my group came for the Dutch masterpieces, but I was there to see the gorgeous library and then was surprised by the antique doll houses. And truthfully, I would have spent 3 hours in that room with the doll houses while everybody else toured and saw all of the artwork. The number one thing I wanted to do in Amsterdam was visit the Anne Frank House Museum. And now you know she's one of the most famous teenagers in the world, famous for the diary she wrote while she was in hiding during World War II. This museum has taken over the annex where Anne and her family hid for 2 years during World War II before they were discovered by the Nazis and taken away to a concentration camp. This was one of the most moving things I have ever seen, just seeing where they hid, what her daily life was like, and the museum was so beautifully done. Yes, it's very somber, but it is interactive in some ways, in that you can listen to the family or to Anne's father tell stories of their time there. You can see her actual diary after you tour the annex, and it also shows through projections and interaction the path the family took after they were discovered and where they wound up, and how Otto, Anne's father, made her way back. I really think that this is a must-do for anybody who visits Amsterdam. The museum is incredibly popular, so buying your tickets in advance is a must. There's no way for you to walk up. It's sold out every single day. Tickets go on sale roughly 2 months in advance online. be sure you're ready the day your tickets go on sale, because they do sell out really quickly. Okay, I love food. Like, I really love it. It's my favorite thing about traveling is trying the different foods of the world. And I really think it's one of the best ways to get to know a culture is through the foods that they eat. So I booked myself and my family a private food walking tour around the Jordaan district of Amsterdam. And our guide is an Amsterdam local, and he took us to places that you're not going to find on TikTok or Instagram. You're not going to see it on social media. They're local, off the beaten path places, and that's exactly what I wanted. So we started at this old brown bar that is probably older than our country here in America to taste an apple pie, which was one of the best, maybe the best apple pie I've ever eaten for a tiny slice that was about this big. We also went to a local butcher to pick up some snacks to do a picnic. We went to a local fishmonger where my group tried the famous pickled herring. I had an oyster. We went to a cheese shop that let us try, I think, about 4 different Dutch cheeses. We also went to a wine shop that sells only Dutch wines. I know, I didn't know they made wine either. That had a hidden speakeasy classroom in the back where we had a tasting of some of the Dutch wines, and honestly, they were so good. Justin and I brought 2 bottles back with us. We ended by having the famous Dutch bitterballen, which is really like a Thanksgiving dinner in a fried ball, and oh my gosh, I had heard about these before we went to Amsterdam, and I'm so glad we tried them. It was delicious, but word of warning, let them cool off for 5 or 6 minutes before you try to taste them. They are steaming hot inside, and if you bite into them right away, you're gonna burn your mouth. And then we also tried the Dutch Jenever, which is their gin that really tastes like a whiskey, and there's a very special way that you have to drink it, and so we all took our turns doing the correct way to drink the gin. And I don't really like gin, but this was actually very pleasant. I'm not saying I'm going to go and drink it every day, but I could finish my glass and not make a face. So if you are a gin or whiskey lover, Jenever might be for you. When you think of Amsterdam, what do you think of besides the canals? You're probably thinking of the bikes, the millions and millions and millions of bikes that you see. This is the preferred mode of transportation for the locals. So I felt like if I'm going to Amsterdam, I can't not bike. And though it looks a little bit intimidating, once you got on after about 5 minutes, it really wasn't. Now, some hotels will offer you bikes that you can take out complimentary. I booked our tour guide, Caroline, to come and take us on a bike tour because I feel like if there are so many bikers that are going to run you over while you're on the bike, you should probably have one on your side. So Caroline was our Amsterdam local that took us around, and wow, does this city become even more accessible when you're on a bike. It becomes so small. You can see and do so much. Caroline showed us this beautiful courtyard with row houses that are rented out to young girls studying in college, and only females can live there, and there's a hidden church in the middle of the courtyard, and it was so peaceful knowing that just on the other side of those houses was one of the main canals of the city. We also biked through the red light district. We saw some of the oldest buildings in Amsterdam. She took us to the Holocaust Memorial, and we ended our bike tour biking through Amsterdam's version of Central Park, which is truly one of the most beautiful parks I have ever seen in my entire life. It is so peaceful. We even stopped and had lunch in the park, grab a beer, grabbed some vegan bitterballen, and just pretended like we lived there on this beautiful sunny day. Vincent van Gogh, or Van Gogh, may be the most famous resident of Amsterdam. So if you are a fan of the post-impressionist master, then you have to go see the Van Gogh Museum. It's a really modern, unique way to see a lot of his masterpieces in one place. Please get the audio tour with your ticket. It's very helpful. and explains a lot to you versus you just walking around and seeing the paintings. And with the audio tour, there's 6 or 7 different tours you can take, anywhere from 45 minutes up to 3 hours, depending on your preference. But it walks you through all the periods of Van Gogh's life, starting from very small young child up until his death in France. And so you can kind of see how his art progresses and how he starts with very dark pencil drawings into the bright colors and yellows that we know him for. It was super interesting, and they also tend to do exhibitions with the Modern Art Museum that is right next door. And so we got to see a modern artist who was inspired by Van Gogh and how their works are similar but very different. And so if you are into art at all, this is so worth taking 2 or 3 hours out of your day and just really going to enjoy. Well, that's it for my time in Amsterdam. I'm so sad I have to go home. I could have used 4 or 5 more days here to see everything else the city has to offer. Gosh, I think that my favorite thing was just taking a bike tour around the city and taking my time and seeing all of the gorgeous canal houses and getting to feel like I lived in the city and picking up on the flow of it all. It was such a great way to experience Amsterdam because it's not a thing that a lot of cities back home really have, which is a huge bike culture like that. So it was special to see. I hope that I've inspired you to come and check out the city. It's so worth more than just a one-day stay here, which is, I know, what a lot of travelers tend to do before or after a river cruise. You could easily spend 2 weeks here going out into the countryside and trying all the different foods and museums and all the cool activities there are. But if you would like help planning your trip, please just reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to help you. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you could hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends, it would mean a lot to me. I'm Heather, and I will see you next time. Bye!